What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? What's happening? Shut your bitch ass up. How about that?
Just saying.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Oh, Lord.
Burqueño, you little brother. How you doing?
Anyways, hello, everybody. For those that are here.
How's everybody doing? Hopefully, everybody is doing well, doing good, enjoying life.
We meant to go on like 20 minutes earlier, but
she don't shut the fuck up.
The entrance took forever.
The entrance?
Or the beginning, whatever you want to call it.
What beginning? It was a 30-second freaking countdown.
It's like, geez, just click it already.
Does anybody need a good old lady? I mean, semi-good? She bitches a lot.
Okay, no, I don't. Because no, I don't. Don't even go there.
They hear you.
No.
You can't. They hear you.
Don't even.
Okay, does anybody want this?
Shut it up.
Asking for a friend.
Shut it up. We're having a good day today. And just gotta get up.
Anyway, how's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody is well tonight. Hopefully everybody is enjoying themselves. You know what? Really fast. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna send 5 of those little thingamajiggers.
Those are gifts?
Yeah. 5 little gifts. Big motherfucker got one. Jojo Z, Ricky Garcia, X Edits, and Johnny Chingas. B23, Kiwole. How you guys? How is everybody doing? What's up, Burqueño? How you doing, homeboy? Ray Tostado, how you doing, brother? Yeah. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Melissa Giron, hey, how you doing? She's hitting us up on Facebook. For those of you that are on YouTube, you won't see that. I don't think you guys can see each other. So just so everybody knows, I'm live right now on Facebook and YouTube. And so if I'm talking to somebody that you guys don't see, I don't have mental health issues.
Oh, no.
Ray Tosta, said, he laughing. Burqueño said, hello, salute 100. Burqueño said hello. He said hello.
You guys, it's getting hot and I'm dreading it.
It is getting hot out here for sure. Melissa Giron said, hello, Mr. and Mrs. LOL. That's what we women do.
No, actually, I'm really nice to him.
They're all like that?
Listen to me. He's very lucky to have me. Seriously, you know. No, seriously, you are very lucky.
It's like a fucking lottery I got.
You won the prize, okay? Because you're welcome. Every day you should get up and say, thank you, babe. You're welcome. You're welcome. But we're not going to go there.
You already went there.
No, we're not going to go there. We're not going to do like a relationship couple night thing, okay? Because I already know. You already know what you got. So that's what it is.
And like I said, we're going to do a raffle.
You're going to make another person lucky?
Yes, please. Santana Martinez, what's up, brother? He said, respect right back to you, bro. Salute, homeboy. Burqueño said, I'm okay, bro. I'm spreading my sides in the monte mañana.
In the what?
In the monte. What do you mean you're going to spread your side? What you doing? You going out there? Going out walking or something? Melissa Giron said, tell him. That's right. LOL.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Melissa. You get it. Hey, girl.
Wow. So hopefully everything's been going well. I've been putting out some stuff as of recently, these wiretaps, but a lot has been going on too. Oh, yeah. My mom's ashes, Spencer. That's what he was saying. He spread his mom's ashes. Like, yeah, sorry about
Oh,
that, brother. Condolences. I remember you were talking about that, and you guys didn't have very great relationship. So
I think this is going to be a good thing for you to go do, though, porque I know you're going to go say your piece. You know, maybe have a little thought in your head and just release the ashes. And I think that it's going to go good. I think you know, finally put everything to rest
Simone,
and move on. You know.
he said my mom's ashes, Spencer. Fucking text to speech. I was gonna say, bro, you're gonna go spread your sides in the monte. I'm like, is that some kind
Oh
of
my god!
thing? What are you
Talking
thinking?
about a funeral here.
What are you thinking?
That's what I knew. I just didn't want to say.
Oh, I'm sure. Um, but what I was saying is I have been putting these wiretaps, but I know that a lot of people have been asking me about what's Jovan. I agree, said Burqueño. Been putting on a lot of stuff. People have been asking me about things that are going around in the pintas out here in Arizona, and I'm going to get to that. I'll tell you this: a lot has changed. Uh, there is there's a lot of issues and problems, which I guess is a good thing from our point of view. You know, these idiots. The more turmoil there is, the better for normal individuals in this world. You know what I mean? Those of you that do or don't know, there was a member named Chuchu, Paul Eppinger, Pablo. Everybody called him Pablo. He just on the 12th of this month, a few days ago, he pled guilty to 4 homicides total, old ones from like 1999. He's already doing double life sentence in the feds for the muertes that they did in New Mexico when they went out there and got that prison guard and his son. He was part of all that. So now he just pled guilty. They brought him back and I guess hit him with some new stuff, and just to be able to get life sentences and go back to the feds, he went ahead and pled guilty. Hopefully I'm back. Everybody, I don't know if you can see uh, the Wi-Fi got messed up here, so I connected to my hotspot on my phone. Hopefully we're good now. Um, Either you froze or I did, said Burqueño. There you are. Yeah, it was me. I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi here, but I just went ahead and connected it to my hotspot. So hopefully you guys are seeing me now. everything's good. But yeah, but anyway, so like I was saying, Pablo pled guilty to four of them. He did Carol and Floater, Chulon, and one other one that I don't know which one he did. Pablo had many, so could be anything. But anyway, so that's what's going on there, and now we're trying to um and I guess now they're going to be taking them back to the feds and stuff. But all the stuff that's going on here in Arizona, I'll be putting something together for that later. Joker, Kiwo Cricket, he said, Kiwo Cricket, Jovan, much love, respect your way.
Hey, what's up? Hello, hello.
How you doing, brother? Yep, we're doing good. Kiwole Burqueño, good to see you, big dog, said Joker. Burqueño said, Joker. Yeah, it's so anyway, that's one of the things that has happened here in Arizona as far as somebody somebody that I mean that to be honest, he's the only one left that from the old days that has a name really. Everything else is it's just turmoil. Eddie Valenzuela, Cubole, how you doing, brother? What you think about that, babe? Pablo was the one that I told you guys in prior conversations that him and Crow were the ones that decided to put that pegada maruca and all that stuff. So
I don't think much of him. He's gonna rot in there. He's gonna die in there. He's never gonna be out here to be able just to go to the corner and get a soda. His whole life is in there without a woman, without kids, it's pretty. You know what I mean? Like time just stops in there.
yeah,
And you don't know how else to act because you never got out in the real world and matured.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pablo's in his late 60s
Yeah.
already. So
But he probably acts like a 23-year-old or a 24-year-old. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Sometimes like it just, I don't know, because for a 6-year-old to act the way he still acts, it's a little crazy to me.
yeah.
You know.
But yeah, he pled guilty to four more muertes. And now he'll just be going back to the feds. And who knows, they might bring him back for more later. I know there's more out there, so we shall see. But here we are. If anybody has any questions, comments, anything about anything that I've put out or about things in general, go ahead and throw it out there. Anything that you guys think that you want to
Here
talk,
we
you guys
are.
want to
I'm
talk
out
about.
here. I'm alive, and nothing happened to me. So
Yeah,
it is what it is.
I mean that's at the end of the day, the bottom line is, and that's Maruka's doing good. Life is good. I'm on the street, which um was never gonna happen, except for kind of like circumstances. Them doing that and all that stuff kind of just fell into place and was almost like a help to me.
Eventually, something would have happened because everybody walks away, right? But
Mhm.
this just happened sooner,
Yeah,
than we expected.
and it may have happened the way the problem that's the thing. It may have happened the way it happens for some, where you're stuck in there forever and on the fucking shit list. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
throw away your whole life for something that ends up turning its back on you anyway. It's crazy.
I know that we went through what we went through, but I'm kind of
That
glad
ends up turning its
I'm
back on you.
glad it happened eventually the way it happened. And honestly, if I had to go back and do it over again, I would just do everything in my life the same way I did it, because then that means I would get my son and I would still be with you. I
Yeah,
wouldn't change anything about that. I don't have any regrets in my life. So
yeah. Yeah, I don't either. I don't either. I know I get a lot of backlash where people say that the things that I say on here I shouldn't be saying. There are things that shouldn't, all that stuff, and I'm not of that mind. Um, I have no regrets of anything that I had to do to end up being out here with my son and my girl and my life. Um, and everything that I say now, I think I know I do it because it's time to pull the veil of secrecy away from all that. When you keep that going, like this mystique behind that Hale, people, kids mostly, obviously, youngsters, look at it as if it's something, uh, like it's something special, like it's like wow, the mysticism, the way people talk about these guys using the word legends and stuff like that. It adds to the credibility of these organizations in the mind of a child. As adults, we can look at it and know, come on, we're grown. That shit is stupid like that, but kids don't see it that way. And so that's why I do what I do and I say it the way I say it. They can't whack me more than once. So they're already on that, they already want that done. So me speaking up and maybe keeping some kids from seeing it that way. And I'm not telling people to walk away from it. I'm trying to keep kids from even walking into it. You know what I mean? That's it. I would love to dry up that recruitment pool.
I think that that's why it's so important to shut it down anytime you have kids around, or as a parent, um, to shut it down. Anything that these kids think is cool when it's not. Watching those stupid movies as kids, they don't understand that. So they can't laugh at it like we do.
Yeah.
Not allowing them to be around that, around those type of kids. If you see them getting in trouble with a group, pull them from there, put them in activities. But it's
Mhm.
really hard when you go online and you see grown men still trying to be wannabe gangsters. You see women wanting to be cholas. You see women dressing like men and having multiple baby daddies and you know um, not that that's a bad thing, but yes, when you have multiple baby daddies and you're not taking care of your kids and you're dressing like a chola and you're at a car show dancing like an idiot, that's not something that girls should look up to. That's not something that boys should want their women to be like. Um, that's not my culture. Yes, I'm Mexican, but that's not who we are and what we should be. So it's really hard for kids to make up their own minds. But once they start seeing all this, it's the little things. It's just the little things.
Yeah. And
And then that those little things lead to these men in prison glorifying it, talking about how, well, back in the day I was this person and you know who I was back then. Okay, but you're not now. And you're spending the rest of your life in there. It's not a flex. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not something to brag about. If anything, it's really embarrassing.
I think the unfortunate thing is, um, so let me put it in perspective. I dress a certain way because I always have. So people can look at me and be like, "Why you still dress like a gangster?" I don't dress like a gangster. It's a cultural thing. That's how we grew up. Um,
Yeah, but
but
you're not running around with a feather in your hair
well,
in
that's
your
what
in your hat either,
yeah,
like it's dress up. You know what I
that's what I was
mean?
about to say. I don't do it as a costume. And then, but the other side of that is when you see these people, this is what, and I told you, I was talking to Joman about this the other day. If Abato, you're a doctor or a lawyer, or you've done something with your life and you're taking care of your kids, and on the weekend you get your kids and you go to the car show and you dress a certain way, I can almost forgive that. I can be like, that's
Yeah.
cool. You
Yeah.
you've did yours. But when you're a deadbeat, you don't work, you don't go to school, you don't push your kids to do anything. and then you do that, to me, it's just like all you're doing is adding to the trash. And unfortunately, that's what got a lot of us into this. Now, don't get me wrong, we make our own decisions as adults, right? Everyone's going to say, well, boo hoo, you did your crime, you do the time. And I agree, absolutely agree. And I did my time, and I agree with you that if someone does that as an adult, they should pay for it. My thing is, if you look at the general population, or population in general, not GP, but prison population, you will see that the majority of the individuals that are in that predicament, or that are committing crimes, or that are addicted to something, or any of these situations, it's usually because they come from a broken home. They don't have adult positive guidance growing up. Now, that doesn't mean everybody you can name outliers. Well, he didn't do that. I grew up like that too, but I didn't do that. I understand that. Nevertheless, the majority of the individuals in the joint, if you were to approach them and say, "Hey, what kind of childhood did you have?" It'll probably be single parent, worked all the time. They kind of raised themselves. There's trauma in their life, shit like that. Now, I'm not saying you got to feel sorry for criminals. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm just saying, why not try to stop it now before it even gets there? These are just kids that need somebody to talk to, somebody to look up to, some kind of mentor, some kind of positive influence, some kind of friend that truly can be there and say, "Hey, look, man, I grew up like you." And it doesn't have to everybody in the joint. I know people that grew up in the neighborhood, and now they're fire chiefs, or they're architects or engineers, or all kinds of stuff. But these kids don't get to see that. So that's what I want to put in. That's what I think needs to be put in front of their faces. And these people that play dress up on the weekend and do all that, but on the weekday they're still doing the same shit, playing dress up and partying and all. If you're going to be a parent, that's a hard title to hold. And that's a job in and of itself. And you have a responsibility to do whatever you have to do to make sure that that child grows up the best way that they can. And a lot of that is you setting that example, working, giving them what they need in their life, all of those type of things. There's stability, structure, all of these things that kids need. And it's just that it's sad when you see that these people that think that it's just cool to run around with cholo hats and shit, and their kids are growing up the same way, and then they're so shocked that their child ended up in prison somehow, or dead, or whatever. Like, come on, stop fooling yourself. That lifestyle leads to something. We all know it. We're gonna say, yeah, his life is over. I can't imagine doing life and being good with that. Yeah, he got shit, probably like 6 life sentences now.
Bye.
Andre Castro said, Mexican. Yo, what a way, said Burkina. Yeah, Eddie Valenzuela said, "Hey, Carnal, first and foremost, appreciate all you do. Are you coming out with new videos?" Yes, I am. I'm going to work on some videos.
Hold on. I think we should talk about the wiretap videos really quick. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, well, I was going to get to that. But,
okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Address some stuff.
But yeah, I'm going to be coming out with some new videos here soon. I'm working on some stuff that's happening now. I put it on the post a while back where they wax silk, and then the other vato got waxed. So there's a lot of internal turmoil going on that I am gonna address and put on that. And I'm also gonna work on to Jovan's point right now. J818 said, "What's up with the rest of the wiretaps?" I said, I'm still putting wiretaps up. I put 2 up today. I'm putting them up for members first and then letting them release out to the public, just because people are signing up to be members and, actually paying to do that. You know what I'm saying? And just for that, I got to give them something, and I don't know what the hell to do. So I just, I'm putting those out first, let them stay in there for a few days, and then let them come out public. But I put a couple today. So let me, Geronimo, what's up? Well, alrighty then. Como están? He said. Um, so here's a real fast. I don't want to get too deep into this with these wiretaps. A lot of people are asking me why about the wiretaps and how another channel started putting some wiretaps as well. And if I took them from him or he took them from me or whatever. First of all, listen, guys, all these wiretaps are public. Anyone can get them if they put in if you request them. All you need is the case number and get that stuff. And everybody knows these case numbers. I mean, that one, some of those that we're doing right now was Fox and them. But just so we can be clear real fast, I originally, as most of you know, we had Perplex News. And then we came out with Crime X. I think most of you guys know that. I was working with an individual that I did time with, and he's from California. And him and I were doing this kind of together with Mundo, as you guys know, with Mundo involved. He and I were of the same mind that we didn't really want to put stuff out there that that glorified that lifestyle. And kind of the stilo of Perplex at the time we thought was a little bit too close to that. So we decided together that we were going to shut down Perplex, and we did. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but Mundo and I continued to be cool friends, right? But Mundo still wanted to keep working. And then so I agreed. I said, okay, well, let's do something. And as most of you remember, when I started Chronicles, it was me and Mundo doing it. And my friend, the guy, the other dude I was working with, didn't like that. He didn't want me working with Mundo because he didn't, I'm just giving you guys some behind the scenes YouTube shit. You know what I mean? And so he kind of talked me into like stopping all that, which was crazy, but I did, he fooled me once type shit. And I stopped. I told Mundo, hey, bro, that's it. I'm not going to do it no more out of respect for, I didn't even tell Mundo why. I just stopped. We were just ain't going to do it. And then comes Renee. Before Renee even got out the joint, we agreed to work together, me, Renee, and this other individual. And we started Crime X. And that's when we started putting these wiretaps up. If you guys remember, I don't know, some of these wiretaps we've already put up before. And then this individual that I thought was a friend of mine ended up coming at me and was like, hey, I'm getting calls. We can't do this. Took it down. We stopped. Since then, now that individual is working with Renee directly. I'm not part of it anymore, and they're putting their stuff up. So I'm putting up the stuff that I have, and he's putting up the stuff he has, but nobody owns it. You know what I'm saying? This dude kind of fooled me and was like, hey, I think he just wanted the bigger piece of the pie. He didn't want to split it. He just wanted to say, hey, we can't do this. Stop it. And now he's doing it anyway with him. And I'm kind of cut out the mix, which I'm not upset about. It is what it is. I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. But that's where the wiretaps come in. If anybody's questioning, like if he is stealing them from me or I'm stealing them from him, it's none of that. We've had it because we were working together. We stopped that, never worked out. and now I'm doing me, and it is what it is. And I'll do a video later kind of explaining a little bit more, because I know people are going to be curious now, but there's no drama, there's no beef. I'm not going to sit here and, say, I don't even think Renee knows the behind the scenes stuff over there. So none of that is even, it doesn't have anything to do with him. You know what I mean? It's this third party that kind of fooled me. And here we are. And the only reason I'm even bringing it up is because people keep asking about these damn wiretaps. So anyway, but I'm gonna keep putting them, and I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. It is what it is, and yeah, Eddie, I am gonna do some videos for some of the stuff out here. Kind of pull. I'm gonna try to get some answers out there that people are asking about. Geronimo said, "Well, alrighty then. ¿Cómo están? What's up with the rest of it? I'm gonna get on." Geronimo said, "Burqueño." Geronimo said, "The wiretap videos when you bring it to light, hermano crooked," and that's what I think. Honestly, it kind of shows the behind the scenes hypocritical stuff. You know what I mean? The way they, there's no love there. These vatos just want money, and they're willing to step on each other for it. They politic against each other for it, and that's just the name of the game. And that's kind of what needs to be out there. You know what I mean? The wiretap facts, Jovan said Joker. Noel B said, "Hello, Cricket and Jovan." Jojo says, "Saludos, Grillo." Santana said, "Perfectly said." Appreciate that, bro. Jojo said, "You still letting Jovan talk out of turn?"
First of all, Jojo, hi to you too.
Yeah, you missed the beginning, Jojo. We're gonna have a raffle.
Shout it out.
Burqueño says, "Seems like the majority of the free society wants to throw away juvenile offenders for good too, even for what's somewhat small offenses." Yeah, it's sad, man. It sucks that it's that way when you look at juvenile. And I was looking at, I put them on my website on the nonprofit. Just a mentor, just having a mentor in a kid's life, it exponentially um, makes it so that these kids go to school. I mean, it brings so much positivity to their life. That's all they're looking for. Yes, they're looking for acceptance and love, but they can get that from anyone. And if it's from some positive mentor that's there to help them, walk them through stuff, show them things, man. I remember when I was showing my son um, maintenance stuff. I'm talking about really easy thing, sweating copper pipes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? My kid had like stars in his eyes for that shit as he was learning, and he started doing it on his own. And he was like, "Man, look, Dad, look what I did." And like, that's all kids want. They want to prove themselves. They want to be, they want to be accepted. They want to show what they can do, and it can be done good and bad. And we just need to put the good in front of them. There's just not enough of that because people move on with their life. When you grow up in a neighborhood like that, if you become if you end up with your own business and you're making money, you end up getting a wife, kids, and you move out of the neighborhood. And most of those kids don't get to see that. The ones that stick around are the ones that are getting out the joint, paroling back to their mom's house. And so these kids continue to see those type of people, not the ones that have done good for themselves. And that's why part of the program that we're going to do with the nonprofit is really getting that in the front of their face. You know what I mean? These mentors and that they can reach out to, and some of them just need to talk. There's a lot of kids that just experience trauma when they were younger, and they just need to talk. And so a lot of that needs to be done. I know when you look at my videos that I'm putting out, people are like, "Well, why are you glorifying this? Why you?" It's not about glorification. It's about opening up this secret society that everybody thinks this is, so that people can say, "Damn, that's how these fools act. This is what they talk about. All they want to do is jack each other, whack each other. Like there's no brotherhood there. They're not talking about, hey, we can we can put all this money together and go put on a car show for the kids. Like they're not doing that. It's about recruiting drug dealers and how much money can I make and how much can I take from him and who needs to get whacked and why and it's just not a life that anybody with open eyes, I think, would run towards.
If I was a troubled kid, could you not take me to a car show, please? Can you take me like shopping or something or
I think it has its place,
something
but
different?
it has its place, but it because
I don't care. If I was a troubled teen, now
yeah. Well, I think some troubled teens would like to go there, but there's
not
positive.
all though.
But there's
Not every Mexican likes a car show.
we're not talking about every. We said some, and I'm saying that there's positivity to that. You got people that just work on their cars and make them look nice. They're not out there blasting each other, and that's all. There's mechanics that do it. I mean, it's just it's another.
Oh, I was asleep and you just stepped on me.
I think the problem is that it's been hijacked by bad people. You know what I mean? I'm not on your foot. I barely touched it. Move it. Porque it seems like the majority of the free society wants to throw away. Oh, yeah. That we just said, yeah, bro, it's crazy. Jojo said the younger they start them in the system, the longer they make money off of them. Yeah, it's sad. I mean, and that happened. That started in the 90s. I remember when I first went to Adobe Mountain, there was kids in there that for muerte. Like you could still get sentenced as a juvenile. And somewhere around 93, 94, they kind of changed the laws and made it automatic transfer for stuff like that. And maybe they need to. Maybe they need to be transferred to adult court because they need, something so serious like that. But I don't think that they should be dealt with as an adult. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. I don't think a kid that does something at 15 should receive the same punishment that a man does at 30 for doing that. You know what I mean? Because it's well known that kids don't have the mentality, to you know to know the difference. I mean, yes, they know good and bad, but no kid can ever sit there and fathom what life in prison means when a 30-year-old does. And so to treat them the same, I don't think that that's the way to do it. And some people may agree, some people may feel that they do, but I'm sure if I was a victim of a crime, if my son was taken away by a juvenile, I'd probably have a different tune. But all I can do is speak from the way I feel about it now. You know what I mean? And that's just seriously how I feel about it. Oh, big motherfuckers in the house. He said, what's up, bro?
Oh, hello.
Central Valley Transparency. He said, what's up, big dog? Cuba, homie. How you doing, brother? I love them videos, man. Central Valley Transparency. I used to put those up before.
You have to say the whole name.
That's his name, Central Valley Transparency. I love those damn videos, man. A Wolfen, man, you back to making videos. I didn't know about the Slackjaw incident until recently. I think it was a dude from CWB that hit him. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I'm doing video. I'm gonna do videos. I'm gonna put some other stuff together. Again, my issue with the way I do the videos when I was doing them, it's a fine line in a kid's mind, not an adult. An adult can look at this stuff and really see what it's about. But in a kid's mind, it's hard to put something like that together and ensure that there's no nothing looks like I'm glorifying it. And that's kind of what I was battling. You know what I mean? Like I was like, damn, man, if I do this, will a kid look at it that way or this way? And so I'm doing my best trying to get them together, do things, put things the way that I can and explain it the way that I do,
You let me explain
it. Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
Porque said, big motherfucker. George Vialta, hey Cricket, what's up? I've been watching those video wiretaps. How you doing? Man, it's been a minute. How you doing, George?
Hey, George.
Like, not like big motherfucker said, Burqueño, Arizona wishes they were Khalifa. Cut it out. Here we go. You watched the movie and now you're cool. Shut up. Central Valley Transparency, damn, y'all got beef. No, 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 no beef.
And he probably lives here in Arizona.
Probably.
He probably moved.
Absolutely no beef, Central Valley Transparency, not at all. Especially not with Renee. That was not the point. That's what I was
I don't
getting
think
at.
he knows what happened.
Yeah, Renee doesn't
know
e-
what happened.
Yeah, Renee has no idea. Like I said, it's not even relevant to Renee. It has nothing to do with it. This is a third party that I was partnering with that was kind of playing middleman and kind of did me dirty. And I'm not even mentioning his name. He's not even a public figure. Like there's none of that. I'm just explaining where the wiretaps are coming from. Nothing to do with any kind of beef, nothing to do with any of that stuff. That's not at all why I'm even bringing this up. That's not the way. If there was beef, none of you guys would even know because I don't do that here. I just don't.
I think you're just trying to address, like, because people have been asking, like, hey, somebody's putting out wiretaps over there. Well, I mean, I know Daniel put it out first, though, and he's had them, and
people are like,
and anybody can get them, to be honest.
Yeah,
So.
I got people saying, "Hey, are you going to give him credit?" And I'm like, "Shit, I've been doing this for months. Why would I give anybody else credit? Like, he can do what he wants. I'm not saying that I own that, that idea, but I'm just explaining it as far as how they even came into play and how I have them and all of that. You know what I mean? But yeah, no beef at all, brother. Jason Dinero said, oh, that's that dude. Agent Orange said, el famoso Jojo. Watcha?
Famous? Where?
Jojo's famous?
On the blade, probably.
You hear that, Jojo? She just threw rocks, bro.
Out there with Ty.
Uh-oh. Ice is broken.
Famous.
George Yeltsin said, tell your wife I said hi for me.
Oh, hey, George, how you been?
Will do. Lisa Canriquez said, well said. Thank you. Big Chang say, what's up, big homie? And how is one of my favorites doing? Good.
Oh, where have you been?
How you doing?
Hello.
Where you been, fool? I never heard from homie. Did you ever give him my number? Jojo said, Changs. Jojo said, hey, oh, saludos. Agent Orange. Our high school vice principal hired us as school aides inside juvenile hall after high school as role models. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's tough. I know. I was one of those juveniles that was getting in trouble all my juvenile life, basically. I went to prison finally when I was 17. My junior year in high school, I was in prison. My graduation night, I was on a prison bunk already. I get it. You know what I mean? Like but I think that, in retrospect, when I think about it, look at it, what would have worked? What could have changed me? And the only thing, it's never going to be someone's story. It's not going to be locking me up. That didn't work. It would have been a long-term relationship with somebody that was positive and that like a friend. Just my friends,
somebody who cares.
Yeah, my friends that I thought cared about me and that I was a part of were just like me. We were all out there fucking up. And then as soon as I got locked up, I went years without a letter, no visit, none of that stuff. So when I look at that, I'm like, damn, I threw my whole life away. Of course, my decisions, nobody else's fault, but I made those decisions based on faulty information. I thought that this was a life where people cared about you, where you had love, where there was a cause, where it was about the raza, where, all of these put in the word, the propaganda here, you know what I mean? And in the end, that's not what that was about. And that's why I think if I could have had some mentor, whatever it is, a plumber, an electrician, a businessman, an entrepreneur, anybody that sat there and said, hey man, do this, do that. Oh man, damn, you graduated. Oh, you got your certification, stuff like that. Then it would have been a whole different ball game for me. You know what I mean? And that's why I say, I think also for any kid, it's just introducing into their life someone that gives a damn. someone that can be there, a positive mentor, a guide, or someone that can guide them along this life, because kids don't haven't been there, done that. They're learning as they go. And if they're surrounded by a bunch of other fools that are learning as they go, and none of them have any positive influence because mom and dad are broken up or at work or not around or whatever the situation is, then what do you expect them to know and do and learn? And
I
so,
think you needed a lot of discipline when you were little, but I
Mhm.
also do believe that you needed structure. I
Yeah.
think you needed love, and for some parents, it's really hard to do all those things at one time.
Yeah,
It really is.
but I think it could have came in the form of me, you know what I mean? Someone like me that came,
Yeah,
but
if
not
somebody was
just,
around that was consistent.
yeah,
You
exactly.
needed somebody that was consistent,
That's what
not somebody that's just in your life for
Yeah.
3 months
Exactly.
and then
Because I heard all the stories. I used to have, I was locked up, and Mothers Against Gangs came, and the 20-year-old guy that changed his life came and talked to me, and I used to just sit there and be like, these clowns, bro, you ain't done shit, but you changed your life. That was my mentality at the time. And then they, it was a speech, and then they all left and everybody clapped, and that was it. There was nobody that came and said, come on, man, let's go talk. Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Let me take you over here so you can kind of look at what, I'm having this house remodeled. I want you to watch how, things get, just different, just friend shit. Yeah, friend shit. And I think that's important for all adolescents. I think it's really important. If you guys see those videos that I put on Facebook with those kids from Tortilla Flats, Midget, and all them, and everybody said, you look at them, that kid is like 9. He looks like a little mierda, nothing. Anybody could have picked his ass up and took him out of that neighborhood, but they didn't do that. And everybody, the comments are saying, where were their parents? Well, exactly, where were they? And that's the bottom line, is that's where the problem comes in. There's not enough adults that give a damn about these kids. And, people will sit here and say, well, it's not my responsibility. Okay, it's not. But then when you're the victim of their crime and you're pissed off that it happened, or they're out there doing this or doing that, then you just have nothing to say about it.
I think a lot of parents too, just people who are around them, family, friends, they need to start voicing their opinions to the parents.
Mhm.
Start holding them accountable, start putting them on the spot. I'm losing a lot of relationships in my family because I'm starting to speak up for the kids, and I don't care about their parents. So I'm, as we speak, I have relationships with the kids, in my family, certain people, but not with their parents. Because I know that their parents can do better. They're just lazy and they don't want to. And I choose the kids over them. And I voice my opinion because I feel like it's borderline child abuse. And when I say that, everybody's like, that's a little dramatic.
Yeah.
How is it not, though? How is it not? So I think all of us, if you have that cousin or that sister or whatever, and you see her being a bad parent, tell her, like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I mean, who cares if she stops talking? She was so what?
Yeah.
Somebody needs to stick up for those kids.
It's important. It's important that these kids have someone to look up to. That's it. I mean,
and somebody that's fighting for them, somebody that's defending them, somebody that's in their corner.
Yeah. And again, if you watch the videos that I put out, a lot of people just get it, it's entertainment. But actually look at the shit that I'm putting out. Look, watch it. Look at what's going on there. These dudes don't give a damn about each other. All they care about is money and dope. All they care about is power. They don't care about each other. There is no carnalismo. There's no brotherhood. There's no love. There's no cause. There's no raza. There's no boogeyman that's trying to take their ass, and that's why they need to get together and make sure it don't happen. Like, all of that is propaganda. It's bullshit. These dudes could care less. So if you're a kid that happens to get in trouble, it happens, and you're gonna go to the joint, just please use that for what it's there for and better yourself. Rehabilitate yourself, get the hell out and do something with your life. Because if you think that being part of that is going to get you anywhere, all you got to do is look at my videos and see that it won't. Look at it. All of the guys that are so-called legends that people like to call that too, they all get whacked at the end. That's just the truth. It is what it is. And there is no getting around that. You can't sit here and talk about any one of these guys that made it somehow. Even doing life in a prison cell can never be looked at as made it. You know what I mean? There is no
Because
out
they're in
on
there
this.
forever.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
out for this. And I guarantee you that any one of those vatos, if you were to ask them if they could get out today, would they? They would. Nobody wants to be locked up. A lot of them have, given up hope because there is none, but they don't want to be there. Trust that. And so to stop kids from heading down that direction and trying our best to tell them the truth about what that life is about, I think is very important. That's why I started the nonprofit. And that's why I think the centerpiece of this nonprofit is going to be mentors, getting people into these kids' life. That's why if you go to the website, you can sign up to be a mentor. You can see what it's all about. We can figure this stuff out.
I'll tell you one thing though. If you were my kid, I would have whooped you. That's what you needed. I would have changed your wardrobe. I would have sat in school with you.
Oh, that might have worked.
Okay.
But
change your wardrobe.
But you wouldn't have.
I would have whooped you up.
No.
Yes, I would have.
Bullshit, my friends.
That's what you need.
Jojo said, take her to Job Corps.
Oh, excuse me, sir. I have a job. Thank you.
Big Chang said, Jojo, Critter Maze, what's up, Cricket and Jovan? What's up, brother? How you doing?
Oh, it's been a minute.
Just so everybody knows, if Facebook and YouTube are watching this right now, so if there's 28 people on YouTube and 3 people from Facebook, and I know you guys can't see each other's comments, so if you see me talking to somebody and they're not in your comments, that's why.
They don't care.
They may care. They may be like, who's this weirdo talking to? There's nobody there. See? And now I just dispelled their little worries that I have some kind of mental health issues. Critter Maze. Burkina said, my dad loved the culture but hated how the gangs hijacked it. He got rid of his cars in the early 90s because he didn't want to be looked at wrong. Yeah. Unfortunately, that is something that has to be countered. You know what I mean? Because of that, it has been hijacked. The same thing with the cultura of the Nahua, the Azteca stuff, and all that. It's a beautiful culture. I've been to Mexico and actually looked at the pyramids, walked in the little areas, seen all of that. It is beautiful, but unfortunately, it's been hijacked by these fools and that want to pretend like they're the Mexica and all this crazy shit that they talk, and they're just gangster pintos. You know what I mean? That if anything, they're a black eye to that, David Rodriguez said, I agree, unless they molesters, then throw the key away. I agree with that too. And I'll tell you why. Well, number one, hurting kids, but number two, it's been proven that there is no, you can't heal those people. Those people do not get over that. That is a mental issue that is stuck with them, and they will reoffend. That is practically proven. So I agree, absolutely, 100%. And I'll tell you what, though, on that same level, if you were to look at it, on that level where, we're against that, shouldn't we also be against these grown-ass 40, 50, 60-year-old men recruiting kids, our children, that are 18, 19, 20 years old and handing them a pico and forcing them to go whack somebody on the prison yard? Isn't that just as bad? making these kids throw their whole life away. In the end of the day, they're just kids. Because you turn 18 doesn't make you an adult. We know that. If you have an 18-year-old son, tell me that kid can do everything that an adult can do. They just can't. And for these old ass men to recruit these kids into that life, I think is just as bad as hurting a child in any
that's
other
child
way.
abuse.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think all the way around, the kids need to be protected in every way. Francisco, what's up, brother?
Oh, hello, Francisco.
Dice que hubo Chronicles Familia, big content creator, y la Jovan Locona.
Oh,
Society's getting harder on the youth. Look at them Gilbert goons. Yeah, I saw that.
not Macona.
I saw that. But bro, and here's the thing. Hopefully, those kids that'll be the wake up call for them. You know what I mean? We can't control what society does. They're fed up. They're intolerant, and we'll see what happens with that. But what we can do, hopefully, is get these kids to just use this as a learning experience. Do your little time, figure it out, and move on with your life. Don't throw your life away. Don't throw the rest of it away for a mistake that you made as a kid. You still have a chance to get out and do something. George Vialta said, I'm doing good, brother. Just been working Monday through Friday, 10-hour shift for the security company. Orale, there you go.
Oh,
Nice. Jojo says she walks in the rocks barefoot. That says it all.
no, sir. I have outdoor shoes and indoor shoes. Thank you very much.
Big motherfucker says Spencer George Vialta. My bad. Antonio Delgado said, what's up, bro? This is your homeboy Tone D from the state shaped like a mitten. Did you pull up the mat yet, bro? Just messing you, boy. My boy, keep pushing this good message for real. I actually did pull it up, bro. I wanted to see what you're talking about. It does look like a man. That's crazy. It sure does. Big motherfucker said, Grillo, did you check out that vid with the 9-year-old kids with the cohete? Oh, yeah, the one you sent me? Ain't that crazy? They didn't know. They didn't know what to do. Remember the one I showed you, babe? Those little white kids on behind the box, behind that like electric box. Yeah, that was luckily that nothing happened from it, but that's what I mean. And I don't think anything was. Those kids were just sitting there scared. You know what I mean?
But they don't listen.
No, they
They
weren't.
don't listen at all.
No.
But it is sad to see that.
The question is, where'd they get the cohete? You know what I mean? Who put it so readily available for these 9-year-olds to get? I mean, the responsible party is the adult, Jojo said Jovan is famous at the Purple Turtle.
Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. Not that.
Not Sevilla, it's too.
Not low. I don't really on that side of town. Turtle. You're going to put me on that side of town.
That's your side of town.
In the 90s?
Right by May Garden.
That was in the 90s, honey.
Burkina is a big motherfucker. The 2 kids in Albuquerque, the Güero, Simon, Burkina. Yeah. They were younger than 9.
You said the purple. No, he didn't.
One of them did. One of them looked younger than 9. That was about a mile from my pad. Said Burkina. Yeah, that was crazy. He put you on the Purple Turtle. Yeah, they were super young. George said, okay, brother, I do need to get up early. Work. Good night to you and Jovan. Good night, brother.
Oh, good night. I know it's late. We're probably going to get off here soon, too.
Yeah, a little bit. Just so everybody knows, I started off with, so everybody knows, May 12th, Pablo. Those of you from Arizona will probably know who he is, but Pablo's a high-ranking Mexican Mafia member. Paul Eppinger. They call him Choo Choo. He pled guilty to four homicides. He pled guilty to 4 homicides on May 12th. 4 more. He's doing double life sentence in the feds already. So he just took he took 4 more just so he can get back into the feds and out of the county jail. Let me see. Burkina said, gracias, Grillo. Ya sabes. Jojo said, you're right, Jovan. Oh, I did 5 more, ¿cómo se llaman? Memberships, and Burkina was one of the ones that got one. Yep. You're right, Jovan said Jojo. We need more accountability.
No, we do. And I know that a lot of people don't want to. They don't. They think they're. Oh, I don't want to get in somebody's business, or oh, I don't want to tell somebody how to live their life, or that's not my place to say. It is your place to say. What do you have to lose?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to. I have a cousin who I had to tell her I think she's a bad parent. What do I have to lose?
Yeah.
Her not talking to me? How is she going to treat me good when she doesn't even treat her kids good?
Yeah.
I don't care for her feelings to be hurt. Her kids are hurt all the time because she sucks. And people just need to start being held accountable.
Yeah.
Seriously. Every day when I open social media, it's horrible. You see these horrible mothers out dancing around like idiots in their stupid little costumes while their kids are probably at home, or if their kids are there, they're dressed up at 8 years old looking like a little gangster. That is child abuse. And I don't care if anybody doesn't like that I have to say that. It's the truth.
Yeah. Again, kids need a lot of attention, and being a mother and a father, both being a parent in general is a job. It takes a lot. And when you take on that responsibility, it's incumbent on you to do everything it takes.
Exactly.
And I was watching some TikTok thing, and this Ruka's on there dancing and acting a fool, and people are asking, "Hey, do you have any kids?" In general, it's just torica. They're talking, but the Ruka says, "Yeah, I got 5 kids. Those are my life. That's my life. The 5 kids are my life." And since I saw that, I've seen her on TikTok every night since, dancing, drinking beer, partying, and I'm just like, damn, what the fuck? Where's your life at? You're
5.
5 kids.
Not just one and okay, my bad. 2, ooh, 5.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that to be my mother. Let's be honest. And that's why we need to start telling these people, like, you're embarrassing.
Well, not just that, but she's not there for her kids. If they're your life, what the hell are you doing drinking beer every night on TikTok? I get it. Saturday night, maybe you want to hop on there and do a little something. But every night, well, what the hell are you doing? When are you spending time
Where's your
there?
life at?
Where are you taking care of
All your
that?
kids.
Yeah, and that's the sad thing, is that people don't take responsibility for their children, and unfortunately, that's a big piece of the problem. And that's why I think it's very important to introduce mentors into these kids' life. I just do.
And then everybody says, "Oh, this generation is so." It's not this generation.
Every
It's their
generation.
parents. Look at their parents.
Yeah.
You show me their parents, and I'm going to tell you, "Oh yeah, poor kid, don't even have a chance."
Yeah. Eno said, "How you doing, Cricket? Hope you and your family are in good health." We are, brother. How you doing? Hope yours is doing good as well. Joshua Tubbs, thank you, brother. Signed up to be a member. Qvol.
Oh, nice.
We're said, change the wardrobe, replace the fedora with a golf cap and propeller. LOL. Hey, shit. At least they'll be making their little kids laugh. You know what I mean? Something cute for the kids. David Rodriguez says, that's real talk from someone that lived the life. Children, listen. That's all I will say. Yeah, it's important, man. It really is important. And again, I keep beating this dead horse, but I really think the answer is mentors and adult positive influences in these kids' lives. And that's going to be the core of our nonprofit organization. If you go to phase2oflife.org, you will see where you can sign up to be a mentor. And if you have it in you, please do sign up. You can sign up to get a blog every Friday. There's a lot of things in there that you can do, but one of them is signing up to be a mentor. But please do that if you have time. There's other instances. You can sign up and say, hey, I only want to do, I want to talk to schools or something. Cool. That's cool too. We're going to be going to schools, facilities, all that. But if you have the time to truly be a mentor to a kid, put that in there and make sure that that's what it is, because we're not talking about just tell your story. We're talking about truly being there for these kids. They just need someone to call and talk to. They need someone to guide them. That's it. George Vialta said we all need to show God's love to those kids. That is the way to go.
Yeah, but their parents also believe in God, and their parents also need to take responsibility, and their parents need to be better parents. And okay, if you didn't start off right as a parent, doing well, it's never too late. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think as society, and it starts in the home and with our friends and with our family, call it out. Tell these people, hey, you could be better.
Yeah.
Your kids need you. Be a better person. Be a better parent.
Yeah, nobody's born knowing how to be a parent. You work on that's something you work on. But there is some common sense things, and probably being there is one of them. Let me see. Oh, check it out, Patricia Gonzalez. How you doing? She said, "Hey, how have you both been? What's up?
Fabulous.
How you doing, Patricia? It's been a while. We've been good." Jojo said, "May Garden." He's laughing.
Jojo, don't talk about that place.
That's her favorite place, bro.
Don't talk about that place.
She said, "I'm not allowed to go there anymore."
He isn't. He's not allowed to go there.
Yeah, that's great.
Um,
I didn't want to go to the buffet with 4 items anyway.
So this weekend, a friend of mine invited me out to dinner, and so I went out with her, and she also invited Manuel, and I told him no, he's not allowed to go. He's not allowed to go there because all he does is talk stuff when he's there. He wants to make fun of the area, the building, the food, and he's not going to talk about it. So he's not allowed there. So I left without him. She picked me up and took me out to dinner, and he missed out because they added a new item. Okay, so now they have coleslaw.
Now they have 5.
Okay, so yeah, he's not allowed there, Jojo. Okay, and so don't go there.
Yeah,
don't start.
I'm not allowed there. She said I have to apologize if I want to go, so I'm making sure that I don't.
And if you beg me, maybe I'll let you go.
I'm good. I'm all right. Thank you.
You missed out.
Okay, yeah. Missed out on their little 4-item buffet.
You need to stop right now.
And their vanilla ice cream and Jello. Fucking hospital. The joint had better fucking.
Walk away, seriously.
Stop. The joint had better offerings.
You wish.
Porque said their finger was on the trigger the whole time. También, New Mexico just made a law that prosecutes parents for kids in possession of firearms. Damn. Hey, maybe it'll get them. I mean, it's no joke. You're responsible for your kids. And when it comes to stuff like that. Heart Life, what's up? He says, "Sup, y'all? What's going on? Heart Life doing big things."
Hey, Tony.
Big motherfucker said, "Tony, peace." Burkina said, "Tony." Heart Life said, "Big motherfucker." Mando 91 said, "Cuba hometown." What's up, brother? How you doing? Cuba. Burqueños. Heart Life said, "Burqueño." Jovan. Children said, "Single moms be at the club all weekend, but asking for favors all week. Single dads be working all week long." Some of them. Some of them are deadbeats too. You know what I mean? It's tough, bro. I know that, again, when you're a parent, it's difficult. It's a hard job to hold, but you have to make the time. And I get it. Some people will say, I have to work, I have to do it, but you also have to be there for your child. Your child needs attention. They need love just as bad as they need food and clothing. They need it all. And there is no one or the other. You have to give it all to them. And you just have to figure it out.
Sometimes if you're the only parent at the time, then you have to be both, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And you don't get to complain in front of the child. It's not the child's fault. They shouldn't know about, oh, you got to work hard. Oh, you got bills to pay. They're just being a kid. They just need to know that they got to get up and go to school and live their little child life.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to hear about all the problems that parents have.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurts me when parents sit there and tell their 12-year-old kid, I don't know what we're going to do. And, what are we going to do? Like, just stressing the child out. Yes, it's one thing, like, if your kids know that you're going through a hard time, but there are parents that stress their kids out.
Mhm.
where the kids are watching other brothers and sisters where they can't wait to work, or they go do little side jobs to get money to help the mom. Like, okay, if that happens once or twice, okay, I kind of get it. But all the time, be a parent. They didn't ask to be here. And those are your kids. Take care of them. And what's wrong with saying that out loud? I don't think anything's wrong with that. I know I was there. I had to work 2 freaking jobs. 2. I was tired all the time. And every picture you would see me at a birthday party or at the movies with my son or something, and I'm in a uniform because I would go straight from work. I wish I could just come home and go to sleep, but I couldn't. I had a child to take care of, and I couldn't neglect him, and I still had to do fun stuff with him and put him in sports and do the things that a parent does. Until Manuel got out, and then it got a lot easier.
Yeah, daddy took over.
Oh, shut up. See, there you go.
Burkini said, and social media just brought out what was already in the gente. I remember people trying to bang in the AOL chat rooms in 2000.
Oh, God, yeah.
Same shit, different year. You know what I remember, bro? People were banging on the damn party line.
Oh,
you guys remember that shit?
The party line.
Hard I said, I like the haircut, Cricket. I got a little fade, bro.
Yeah, looks all right. It's not really a haircut, Tony. He's going bald.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
bitch.
His hair's falling out.
Burkini said, hey, stay. Oh, is that another?
What?
It's probably him talking in the thingamajigger.
STA.
Voice to chat or voice to.
Oh. Yeah.
Big motherfucker said, Burkini chat box.
Probably.
Hard Life said, Jovan, have y'all done any fun stuff together now that Cricket is doing better?
No, not really.
Not yet.
And he's not better yet. And now we're having another little insurance problem with his health. So I don't know I don't know if we told you guys or not, but we're getting married in a few weeks. And here's the crazy twister part. His mom is going to marry us.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've come a long way, you guys. But no, for sure we're waiting for June so that we can get the date that we want. But I need to hurry up and put him on my insurance and figure all that stuff out because his situation is just it's a little crazy right now.
Yipper. Jojo said, Grillo met Jovan on the party line. Kinda. It
was the gel line.
It was the gel phone, but it was kind of like a party.
Gosh.
I think I was drunk.
Wish somebody would have told me to run away. Run away.
Look at it, a big motherfucker. LOL, yeah, bro. George said, yep, I agree 100. Jojo said 5 item buffet.
Jojo.
Exactly.
Take that back right
Burkina said, I'll pass on the coleslaw. That's all they added, bro. And she's like, and you like coleslaw? I like KFC coleslaw. I don't like all that other. I don't like May Garden with cat hair coleslaw.
I swear you're never allowed there again. You're done. You're so done.
I should have did.
Swear.
I should have did this months ago. I wouldn't have had to gone a couple times.
You're so done. Yeah.
Travis Drury, what's up? How you doing, brother?
Oh, hey.
Been a minute. He said, glad I caught live. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you too, brother. How you doing? Francisco said, May Garden serves gatos. See? Patricia said, adult problems should be kept to themselves.
Adult what?
Adult problems should be kept to themselves.
Yeah, I mean, but I get it. We're human, you know what I mean? So sometimes our kids, they see us struggling or upset, or something. They see that but it shouldn't be their whole life.
Yeah.
When they grow up and say, God, my mom never had nothing. We never had this, or I can never get that, or oh my God, my mom was always waiting for me to hurry up and get a job so that I can help her. That shouldn't be that. It should be a memory that it would take them long and hard to think of,
Yeah.
and stuff
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
the thing. I just don't think you should complain to your children about adult issues that they can't really help you with anyway. Like they're not there for you to vent to, you know?
Mm-hmm. They're your children. They're not your friends. They have their
Yeah.
friends at school.
Or your
Um,
psychiatrist.
you know, and I know a lot of people say, "Oh, my son, he's my best friend." At 10 years old, yeah, you love him, he's your son, but go get an adult friend and vent and
Yeah.
do it over coffee or something. But that's just what it is. Like I said, I met this kid at my work, and I told him, I said, "Hey, why don't you take guitar lessons? Aren't you going to join the school?" And he's like, "Oh, I can't." He's like, "My parents never have the money.
Yeah.
They can't afford it. They'll never get into it." So all of the teachers there and me and myself and another coworker, we were in tears because of that, because he said that, and he's such a good kid. But he already knows. I can't even ask because I know it's going to be a no.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. A Wolf and Man said, I hope to see episode on Big Hank Lugo and Felicia, a gangster love story.
on who? Who?
Big Hank was like Arnon that was in love with a punk, Felicia.
Was Felicia?
Yeah, it was a punk.
Oh.
And
Hey,
like,
love is love, people.
even on the streets, he was,
Love is love.
God. Yeah, Wolf, man. I don't know if I could do that video, bro.
A love triangle?
I got him whacked.
Oh,
Gangsters, cops, and politicians. How you doing, buddy? Says saludos. Hope you stay blessed. Thank you, bro. Right back at you. Jojo Z say you talking to your jefita? Yeah, I talked to her, bro. I've always talked to her. I've never not talked to her. We're just not the closest, you know?
I think we had our breaking point when he was in the hospital this last time. And they kind of like, talked about what they needed to talk about and brought up, the past, brought up new things, old things. I've also, come to an agreement on some things try to see it from her point of view, but then not because I still have my opinion. But I think it all kind of changed when she apologized. She sat in that hospital room, looked at her son and said, I'm sorry for this and for that. I apologize. And at that point you either move forward or you don't.
Yeah.
So,
but we've always talked. There was just not a lot of, just not close. You know what I mean? I do me. And
I still don't agree with the way he was raised, but at the same time, if she, when somebody apologizes to you and they acknowledge, what they've done, what do you do? Do you keep holding them like a prisoner in your head, or do you let it go, or
yeah,
you move
nothing.
on?
Things
So,
can't be taken back. It is
yeah,
what it is.
so we've actually, agreed to move on, move forward, and try to have a relationship. So we actually were there on Mother's Day with her and
Yeah.
spent a little bit of time, and it felt really good because we just like let everything go and put it out on the table, talked about it, all that. And boom.
Yeah. Yep. Heart Life said, hell yeah, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. He's a very lucky guy.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Do you want this little insurance?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Then shut it up.
Very lucky, guys.
There you go.
Burkina said, gangsters, cops, and politicians. What's up, bro? Oh, a Wolf and Man said, congrats on the marriage. Congratulations, Patricia. Yeah, I figured, 22 years, I'll give her a shot.
It's actually going to be 23 years, but whatever. See, that's what you do.
I think she deserves me. Francisco said, dang, you got the papers fixed, Jovan?
No, really.
Julian Mirelle said, "What happened to Chopper? Nothing. He's doing good. Matter of fact, I talked to him this week. He's doing real good actually. From what he says, he's not married, but he moved in with his woman. He's living with somebody, happy. He's working. He just finished paying off his car. He's doing good. He's doing real good out there. Yeah, he's doing real good actually. It's crazy." Patricia said the collect call line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it was. That is what it was. Mando said KFC best coleslaw. Absolutely, it is. May Garden, that not even close.
Stop.
It can't be. You tasted it. Is it as good as KFC?
It is. It's
No,
actually
you're
better.
full of shit.
It's actually better.
She has this nostalgia about that place.
No,
It's
I
not the
don't.
food.
I don't have the nostalgia because I don't ever go back into my old neighborhood like that. I don't, unless we're
But you like Bay Garden.
because I like the food. I like it. When do you ever see me going back to anything? I don't.
Okay,
It's
but
not
you
because
do to
it's
that.
nostalgia.
And you even say, it's been here since 1950s, whatever.
Yeah, it's been there forever, but I mean, the food is great.
It's not great.
It is.
It's not a buffet.
We should have it catered.
No. Well, yeah. You're going to bring us 2 pans?
I'm done.
Man, this is congratulations on upcoming boda. Gracias, brother.
Oh, it's just going to be really quick, to be honest.
Yeah, we're just signing papers. Francisco said drinking hooch. Yeah. Well, that happened. Oh, actually, that same night. Well, so I talked to Joanne. The first time I talked to her, we talked for a little bit, and then I had to give the phone up. So I said, "Hey, I'll call you tonight when I come out for my hour." And I never did because I passed out drunk in my cell.
What a loser, right? Like who does that?
I'm the loser. She was waiting for me to call.
I wasn't waiting.
Burkina said, my parents made a friend out of me. I vowed that not to make the same mistake with my kids. Yeah. It's hard because you want that. You know what I mean? You want a relationship with your kids in that way. And like me and my son, we bullshit. Like he's my friend, but I'm still fucking dad. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you the way I think it should and shouldn't be. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it is what it is. And you know, I don't think that you should let that get in the way of your, of the parental side of your relationship. You know, it's cool to like your kid. It's cool to be, all of that. But you can't be afraid that they're going to be mad at you if you do so. You know what I mean? Like that's where you got to be like stern on some shit, What do you think?
Yeah, I had to discipline and structure my kid very well when he was little. And there was a lot of times that I had to discipline him, and like I said, I would shut the door to his room and stand outside, and I really wanted to cry. A couple times I did cry because I'm like, I just want to go in there and just hug him, and okay, it's okay. But I knew that I couldn't because I had to instill structure in him. If I let him get away with it once, he's going to keep getting away with it. If he had attitude or was being rude, he needs to know that it's not allowed.
Yeah.
At all.
By the time I got out, he was a little bit older, so I never hit him.
He was 12.
Yeah, well, 13. He turned 13 the month I got out. But I never was able to, I didn't hit him or any of that stuff, but I would take his phone, which is the most important thing to him. And he would go crying to Jovan, Doug, tell my dad, give me my phone back, really? And all this crap, right? But that it worked. It would work. I would take it from his ass and he'd get consequences. It just was what it was.
I think one time we took his whole room.
Mm-hmm.
We took his whole room. He was only allowed to sleep on the couch, go in his room to get clothes, and watch TV in the living room. That's it. He had nothing. I want to say it's because he was goofing off in class or something, and the teacher called us. I don't know if it was that reason, but he got in trouble, and we're like, no, it's not okay. You don't get to do that. And he never got in trouble in school. No. So that was the first time or something
Well, it
like
was
that.
he was already in it was high
And it was
school,
high
and he was
school.
kind of getting, he tried to be rebellious. He tried, and we had to get that shit out of him quick. But it wasn't a bad rebellious. It was school shit. You know what I mean? Which could turn serious if you don't nip it. So
But it was the little attitude that came when we told him, and so all that kind of led up to.
I'd be yelling at him, and he had a stupid little smirk on his face, and I'd feel disrespected.
So you take the phone. No, that doesn't work. Okay, take the phone. The Xbox. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, I'm gonna take your whole room. And his room, he had a whole setup, a gaming setup, a whole everything. So to go from not being able to go in your room to just, hey, you're laying on the couch
That fool had a closet early on before we bought our house. We had an apartment where he had a walk-in closet, and he turned his closet into like his gaming room. Like we would walk in, and he'd be locked. He'd be inside.
Had a TV in there. It was like a little man cave type.
And he'd be inside his closet. I'm like, what the hell? Why don't you just close your room door?
But when we got the house, that's when he, had his whole desk and the gaming and the 3 monitors and the whole thing. So to lose his whole room and his phone, and I think it was like for almost a month. It was horrible for him. He like put in more hours at work. He didn't want to be home because he was bored. So he was like, I'm just going to go to work. Yeah, because he was working at the time. So
Bernie, Secure Cricket, it's been a while, homie. It has been a while, bro. We've come on a few times, but it's really sporadic. Jojo said, reenact a love story.
Oh, God.
They're looking like a youngster essay. You like that? I know, bro. It's crazy. I still wonder, like, what's going on. It's a trip.
Delusion.
Birdie said, Jojo, what up, G? Jojo said, Bernie, a wolfing man said, will we ever see Greyhound and Chopper on the channel again? Chopper, yeah. Greyhound probably not, brother, because he does his own thing, and I don't know. Most of you guys, if you look at those videos at that time, Chopper definitely more than likely. But if you look at here's the thing. Most of you guys know my spiel, right? I walked away from that clica. I speak against them. I want to get the message out that the kids should not follow that path, all of that stuff. And when I would have Greyhound on, he would still kind of speak like he was with it. You know what I'm saying? Like he wanted to continue that lifestyle. And I, me and Greyhound would talk off of camera, and I'd be like, bro, you want to tell him, not to be involved in this and this. And he's like, yeah. And if some of you guys remember, he actually came on and said he was done with that life. He had promised his daughter that he was going to be done with it and all that. But most everybody knew that he had been done with it. I mean, for years and years after they sent him out of state, the guerra had already ended. The thing with Trigger and Chopper and Monchi and Greyhound, that whole thing was over. And Greyhound had been out of state for so many years that it was just a given that it was no longer part of it. And so I just didn't want to put a hypocritical message on this channel. You know what I mean? I have friends outside of this. Greyhound was one of them. But it doesn't mean that I want him speaking on behalf of what we're doing, because he still is doing a life sentence and feels he needs to portray himself a certain way. And so he can go ahead and do that, but it's not going to be at the expense of people that I'm reaching. You know what I mean? Kids, actually. So,
but the people he talks to, yeah, come on.
But Chopper, absolutely. Chopper's doing so good. The only reason Chopper hadn't come on for so long is he was living his life. He did 38 years in prison. And when I was getting him on here, he had just got a job. He was working. He was going out on the weekends. He was going on dates. Like he was busy trying to live a life. And it was kind of almost encroaching on him. Hey, bro, you gonna come on tonight? And he'd be like, oh, I'll call you. I'm going on a bar with this girl, and that's kind of why I kind of backed off and just said, do you, brother? You know what I mean? I don't want you to feel obligated to come on because I know you're trying to live this life that you've never had.
Just trying to catch up. Yeah.
So I mean, but yeah, he would come on. I mean, I could, if I called him tomorrow and said, hey, brother, come on tonight and let's bullshit a little bit, he would definitely come on. You know what I mean? So yeah, for sure. And as a matter of fact, just so everybody knows, I just recently spoke to, I said it already, Sinner's going to come on. I talked to Sinner a few weeks ago, and he's going to come on. He wants to send a little message out about the whole thing with him. And so, kids can hear. And Eddie Boy from Hollywood also is another one. I don't know if anybody, those who know, those who don't, but his name is Eddie Ochoa. He's also going to come on and speak. And, I'm just trying to get people that have been there, done that to come on, give a little bit of their, what's it called? Give a little bit about how their scenarios went, just so people can see like that's what that life leads to no matter what. Francisco said, did Felicia get whacked too? I don't believe so. No, not at that time. At that time, it was just him in the hotel. Aslan and Gray did them, and then they took out Aslan right after that. Agent Orange said, moms forget their faults. More power to them. Gangsters, cops, politicians say, right on, brother. You know what they say, behind every good man is a woman who has his back. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Maruka's a good, she's been feeding with me. I mean, most of you guys know our story and how long I was in. When we hooked up, my house got raided. The feds indicted her. She got locked up. She was on home arrest. I mean, all of this stuff within a few months of meeting me. So she had to put up with a lot of shit. And then plus, I left her out here pregnant, got locked up, went in and spent a little bit of time.
That was fun. Thanks.
Spent a little time inside, and so she's been through a lot, and so she deserved me. I had to throw that dig at the end.
You're something else, man. I swear.
Agent Orange said, get a prenup.
Oh.
Believe me, bro, I know. My MacBook right here, she can't have this. She'll just say, put everything in your mom's name before you marry her.
Oh my God, this guy.
My house is already in hers and my name.
That's right. That's right.
Does anybody know a notary?
It says and, not or. It's both of ours. Yeah, I'm all of.
Gangsters Casa, órale, 22 years. Congrats. Yeah, coming up on 23. Francisco says she fell in love with your voice, bro. Yeah, I know.
Don't know about all that.
Yeah.
I think I was just really bored that summer and I didn't have really anything to do. So
yeah, that's what happened.
I just kind of was like, okay, I'm going to be in for the summer. It's kind of hot.
Oh, she was in that summer. Eric Lerma said, what's up, Cricket? Good to see you and hear from you, bro. Homie, how you doing, brother? What's up, Eric? It's been a minute. Hopefully you're doing good. Patricia said, good night. It was nice seeing you both. You too, Patricia. Thank you so much.
So late. Thank you for hanging in there with us, for sure.
A wolf and man, oh shit, you got Sinner to come on. Looking forward to that one. Yeah, he's gonna come on. He's doing real good, actually. Well, he was doing real good. Sinner has cleaned up. Well, how do I put this? So before a few days ago, Sinner he had cleaned himself up.
I don't know why you put people's business out there.
He's doing good. He's moved back to the Yarda. He's happy that he gets visits and stuff, and he was like, man, I'm gonna, he wants to clean up his life and stuff. But a few days ago, he had an episode, like he tripping, and I'm hoping he's doing good. Right now, he's locked down, so, but he'll be back, and yeah, he's gonna come on. He said he's gonna come on and he's gonna talk he wants to put out a message for the kids too. We kind of discussed that, and he said he wants to do it, as did Eddie Boy when I spoke to Eddie Boy. What's the real? You should do a show on Sean Gibson from Vancouver, Canada, real trapper. I don't know who that is, bro. I don't know who that is. Francisco said, "What about PJ?" Yeah, PJ too. I mean, they're all right there in the same pod together. PJ Sinner, Eddie Boy, Sergio Mosca. Who else? Those are the ones I remember off the top. They're right there, all in the same pod together. And so I'm gonna be getting any of them that want to come on. I've already extended that, and they're definitely going to. And PJ's kind of the one facilitating it because he's the one that calls me the most. So he's the one who was like, "Hey, Sinner wants to talk to you," and I spoke to Sinner and then Eddie Boy. So yeah, I'm working on it. I really do want to put that message out because these guys are the ones that have lived it, just like the rest of us, and so they can speak to it. ¿Por qué no ser Agent Orange Cubo, bro? Agent Orange Burqueño. Armando Morrillo.
He says it like that.
Burqueño.
Oh. Like you're in a tunnel.
Yeah, that's how he said it. He said it like a chilango.
Oh. Not a chilango.
Armando Murillo put a period, exclamation point, comma. Orale. It's
okay.
Like
let me guess what that is.
Writing class.
That's like, I'm here. X.
The end, exclamation point, comma.
Continued.
But okay.
There you go.
However, Eddie Boy from Phoenix or Tucson? From Phoenix. They're both right there, actually. Well, Eddie Boy's in the pod with PJ. I mean, the one from Phoenix is in the pod with PJ. The one from Tucson is on the same yard. He's there too, but he's not in the pod with them. But Eddie Boy from Hollywood in Phoenix is the one that I talked to the other day, and that he'd be getting on pretty soon. I never really knew Eddie Boy from Tucson, so there's not that same rapport. But I mean, if he wanted to come on, he could come too. But Eddie Boy from Phoenix is the one I'm talking about. Big Muffin said, "Do you know how Sergio's doing?" He's right there. He's actually in the first bunk of the pod with all of them. The tier, they're right there. Doing okay, I guess. I mean, he's doing life, so. But he's visiting with the family and his daughter and all that. They're there. We're at an hour and a half. What do you think? I think we said what we need to. We've done what we've done. We're here.
Does anybody have any questions for us or comments or anything that you guys want to ask? I mean, we addressed the whole wiretap thing. People have been asking about that in the comments and stuff. So.
Yeah, I haven't seen Sergio in months. Burqueño. Which Sergio you guys talking about?
Oh, Sergio.
Oh, my bad, bro. You guys are talking about Sergio from right here, from the chat. He's doing good.
Oh yeah.
I was talking about the he's an ex-Carnal that's right there with everybody. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Sergio from California. No, he's doing good. The kids are good.
Yeah.
We chat a lot often. Sometimes, we have
send little videos.
Yeah, things like that. Sometimes we go a couple weeks, because we get busy. I think he works like at 5:30 in the morning. That's probably why he hasn't been on, because it's so late. Yeah. Then he changes hours to like 5:30 in the morning.
I think so. Yeah, because he's asleep right now. That's why whenever we go too late, he's already crashed out. Yeah. No, you got the right Sergio Burqueño. I think I misunderstood because I was in the middle of talking about Center and all them. So when he asked Sergio, I thought he was talking about Sergio Mendez, the Cardinal from 9th Street that was right there. But it was my fuck up. What's the real said? Look up downtown East Side Vancouver. It's the biggest open air drug market and the poorest postal code in all of North America. It's crazy. That's where Sean's from. Okay, I'll check it out. Is it like that Kensington thing? Well, no, not Vancouver, because that's in somewhere else, right? I'll check it out.
You keep stepping on me.
How am I stepping?
I
on
don't
you?
know. You don't feel that? That's
No.
my foot.
This?
This right there. Yes.
Oh, why are you putting your foot under my foot? Francisco said I tripped out on Cheapa's video. Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, I watched it.
Thought it was hilarious.
Big motherfucker laughing. ¿Por qué no se did I get the wrong sir? No. Any word on Negro from Guadalupe? No. I haven't heard from him for a while. Remember, he used to come on here talking to us, but or you talking about Negro from Mesa? You said Guadalupe, right? Yeah. No, I haven't. It's been a while. What's the real cricket? Is it true they called you the Nod Father in jail? The Nod Father.
The new father, maybe.
I don't know. I think he's trying to troll. Yeah, did I get the wrong Sergio? Any word on Negro? Which Negro are you talking about, bro? Hey, Francisco, I don't know if you saw when you came on. So Pablo just pled guilty to 4 muertes. On May 12th, he got sentenced. He pled guilty to Floater and Carol, his wife, and Floater, Carol, and then I think Chulon. I'm not sure about who the 4th one was. It was one that happened in June of '99, but he pled guilty to 4 and got sentenced to multiple life sentences. And I think he just went ahead and signed so he can go back to the feds. So he's probably off in there. Porque you say got to step on some toes to get anywhere in life, Jovan.
No, it's like, what the heck? Like we're right here next to each other, and he wants to put his freaking foot on me. Like, dude,
I'm moving my foot under the table, and she keeps putting her fucking foot under my foot. I don't know why.
I'm gonna end up kicking you. Stop.
Oh, please don't. See, you didn't kick me. What'd you kick? Did that hurt? Did that hurt? Oh shit! Guadalupe. What's the instead of the Godfather? Because I understood the joke, but I mean, are you trolling? No one called me that, but I'm not denying. I used to get high. That was we all did. So
No, you didn't, did you?
he said, "I'm not trolling, bro. I just heard that you used to use dope in jail, didn't you?" Yeah, we all did.
You did? How dare you not tell me?
That was what we all did, bro. That's not a secret. But no one called me the Nod Father. I mean, you could have just asked me straight up, bro. Leaving the joke out of it. Not that you didn't hurt my feelings. It's just, yeah, I used to get high. I was a bad guy. Thought that was evident. Órale, pues. We're gonna get the hell out of here. We're gonna go. We appreciate everybody who stuck around for the live. Everybody that was here today. It's an hour and 43 minutes.
Oh yeah, I gotta go.
We're gonna get out of here, but we'll be live again probably tomorrow, the next day. But yeah, Francisco, that's crazy. That fool, fucking Chulon been gone for a minute. Yeah, well, they whacked him in '99 too, Francisco. Right after he, a little bit after the Wato head muerte, he ended up. They buried him. I don't know if you remember. They took him out and they buried him in the desert. And so I guess, and he was actually there when they did Floater. So Chulon and then they did Floater and Carol. And then after that, they whacked Chulon and buried him in the desert. So I guess he's pleading guilty to all of those just to get him off the books and get back to the feds. He's already doing double life in the feds, so it's not going to hurt him. And as long as they don't give him the death penalty, he can just go right back to the feds. He won't have to be in this state. So he's probably just jumping on that, you know. What's real said, so did I. Just never went to jail myself. I was just fucking around. You're good, brother. I'm not tripping. I just didn't know what you were getting at. I mean, I understand, but yeah, I'm not tripping. I just didn't know what you were getting at. I mean, yeah, I was. I mean that I've said it before. That's carnales for the most part, Mexican mafia members, and I'm not just saying that that's why, but we were all tecatos. That was what we chased. That was what we did it all for. At the end of the day, that's the honest truth. There was no cause. There was no love of raza. There was no love of brotherhood. There was none of that.
There was no net worth but a couple $100
Yeah.
and some honey buns. And,
There was none of that.
Yeah.
Everything we did was for that mighty, that chiva, for that, for some feria, for the power that it all brought. That's the lifestyle that it all brought. It's, you know, and that's why I want to keep as many people away from that as possible. But yeah, I was shit. I mean, I was just like the next man when it came to that, for sure. He's been waiting all week to ask you that joke, said Agent Orange. No offense, bro. Love your shows. You're good, brother. It's cool. Travis Joey said, have a good night, guys. Burkina said, appreciate your time, you guys. Take care.
bye, everybody.
What's
Good
the real
night.
say? You're a real one. I actually really enjoy your channel, bro. Much respect. Right back to you, brother. Right back to you. I've been clean off that stuff for over 2 years now. That's good, brother. That's a hard monkey to beat. You know what I mean? But that can destroy lives for sure. Phoenix is bad with what's going on right now. So glad to hear that. Francisco said, I wonder how they were able to charge him for all those cases. I don't know, bro. When they brought him back on that fraud, I guess they must have hit him with those too. You can look them up. I'll send you something in a little bit. I took screenshots of all his stuff and I'll shoot them to you, bro, so you can see. But yeah, he pled guilty to 4 altogether. Jojo said, saludos. What's the real? Said, God bless. Thank you, brother. Right back at you. Salute, everybody. Somebody must have given him up, said Francisco. I'm sure, bro. Yeah. It's been too long. They all happened in May of 99. Floater and his wife, Carol, got whacked on Cinco de Mayo of 1999. So, I mean, you're talking about 26 years ago. And now they're charging him. So, yeah. Something must have come up. But I'll shoot you some stuff right now. Orale, we're out of here. We thank you guys, everybody that took part in this chat today. We appreciate you guys for real.
Good night, everybody. Toodles.
What's the real? No hard feelings, brother. I know you're just joking, but I'd never know. Motherfuckers come on here and they do shit to try to disrespect and clown, but I've never denied that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was who I was. I did what I did. I mean, I don't deny that type of stuff. So that's why I was like, where's this coming from? But I got you. Big Mofo said, cuídense a rato.
Vato. A rato, vato.
Goodbye, guys.
You like that?
Yeah. Agent Orange, a rato. Check you out, brother.
Vato.
Geronimo.
Should I say it more in an accent for you?
Yeah, how do you say it, baby?
Vato.
Oh, look, guys, listen to this real quick. This is the podcast song.
You're gonna play the whole.
This is truth they don't want to see. Stories of loss, pain, and broken dreams. Prison Chronicles, revealing the real cost. No glamour, no glory, just the lives lost. Faces fade, stories remain, the pain we can't ignore.
This is the truth behind the world.
Prison Chronicles, revealing the real cost. No glamour, no glory, just the lives lost. Faces fade, stories remain, the pain we can't ignore.
This is the truth behind the door. Real stories, real consequences.
Crazy, crazy.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be like a long song or something.
Francisco said good night and God bless you always, especially to you, Joanne, and your family.
Oh, thank you very much, and I hope yours is well also. I know you went through that car accident and everything, Francisco.
He fell out the tree.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing good, bro. Geronimo said that's pretty good. Big motherfucker said, keep it up, Maria, keep it up. But I'm going to be driving the getaway car when he runs out. LOL.
Wow.
Agent Order said good. Yeah, it's a trip, man. That's an AI. AI did that. It's crazy. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for everybody for being here.
I want a movie. You can rub my back. I had a long day at work today.
Good night, guys. I gotta go to sleep. I'm so tired.
Uh-huh.
Did I look fucking gay right there?
You got go, guys.
So tired.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't fucking know. Good night, guys.
I know you can-
Someone's gonna clip that shit.
Oh my god.
Órale, pues. Well,
Goodbye. Be safe, everybody.
porque yo laughing. Órale, pues, a rato.
Oh my